you may know him from Veep, Arrested Development, and that viral Beyonce Super Bowl commercial. And now Emmy-winning actor Tony Hale is playing a single dad who's dealing with the loss of his wife when suddenly he has to fight off his daughter's terrifying drawings that magically come to life. Let's take a look.
Miss Thompson was concerned when she saw it.
Okay. Well, I mean, come on. How bad can it be? You know? Wow. All right.
We felt a phone call wouldn't convey the...
Blood?
Tony Hale joins us now in studio. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, really, on its face, this is considered a family movie, but
Yes.
it's also described as a comedic horror.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
so? I mean, it seems like such a stretch, the two.
We kind of describe it like Inside Out meets Jurassic Park, because these drawings that she do, because she's processing her feelings because of the loss of her mother, and the drawings come to life, and it's just the way that they're done. It's cool because when she draws them, she either draws them out of chalk or crayon or Sharpie, and you can see it in the monster. So you see this childlike, and it's like eye candy. The director, Seth Worley, just did an amazing job on the movie.
Your character, your daughter as well in the show, also processing grief.
Yeah.
Which obviously can be especially hard for kids who are
Sure.
still trying to figure it all out.
Sure.
Why was it important for you to add that touch of comedic relief, I guess, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I deal with life. I mean, it's like life. Look at these socks. Goodness, this was a,
I
I don't know if
like
this was a
that
good
orange.
choice. That's my pop. But it's like that's how I live. Like life gets heavy, and it takes the air out of the balloon with a joke, you know, just to kind of help the tension. But the thing that this dad in the movie that I relate to is you can feel that he wants to protect his kids from. He kind of compartmentalizes the grief. And that's when he learns, like, they've got to process like I've got to process. And she, drawing, was the only one that was really processing, you know?
And there are really a lot of layers to the movie, and that can come in action, in comedy, in horror. But what do you think the overarching lesson is?
I mean, the hope that I get, that I hope happens, is in addition to like Goonies was like my favorite movie growing up. And it was something the whole family could go and have a good time. I want that experience for families now. But I do want kids to feel seen. Like there's all different ways to process feelings, you know? And also parents, there's this new term, it's like not helicopter parenting, but it's called snowplow parenting, where you remove all the challenges from your kids' lives because you don't want them to face stuff, you know? And I have a 19-year-old daughter. I don't want to see her go through stuff, but it's like, it's hard. We got to allow them to walk through challenges. So I do hope parents feel seen, and it's like, yeah, this is a learning curve for everybody.
And so helpful for other parents to be
yeah.
able to watch with their kids who may not be able to have the tools, the skill set to really talk about grief.
In addition to just being a fun watch,
right?
You know,
many people are going to remember you playing Fear in Inside Out too.
Yeah.
How does fear translate differently from grief?
I mean, you gotta have to kind of invite them all to the table a little bit. I think a big reason why people don't walk through stuff is they're afraid. You know, what's it gonna bring up? How am I gonna handle it? I loved the difference between fear and anxiety in Inside Out because they said fear was something that was actually in front of you, and anxiety was a perceived threat. And there's always that kind of anxiety of like, what will happen if I start really feeling this grief? And you never know, but you gotta walk through it.
Now, you've been producing this movie for 8 years now.
8 years, yeah.
How does it finally feel to give birth to this 8-year-old baby?
That's Dave right there. It's wild. It's very surreal, but it's like, you know, this is an independent movie, and we tried to find financing, and thankfully we found a studio that was able to distribute it, Angel. And I'm just incredibly thankful, but at the same time, I'm like, it's out there. I mean, it's been such a journey.
Tony Hale, we thank you so much for allowing your journey to stop by
you.
here. And to our viewers, you can catch Sketch in theaters August 6th.